Hello, my darling, and welcome to our next symptom in the series, which is symptom number 7. If you want a copy of this, I'll put it in the chat below. It's changes in coordination, which is just difficulty in fine tasks that require motor skills. So yeah, I'll put a copy of that into the description below. So what does that actually mean? Well, have you ever noticed that tasks you used to do without even thinking, like fastening a necklace or buttoning shirts or applying eyeliner? I'm talking about the eyesight here for a sec. Just they seem too fiddly now. Well, this is what symptom number 7 is all about. Just changes in coordination in general, but the specific fine motor skills. And yes, it is a real perimenopause symptom, unfortunately. So what does it feel like? It feels like struggling with, as I said, jewelry clasps, feeling clumsy when you're typing or texting, dropping things more often, and just feeling less steady when you're doing things like crafting or applying makeup or things like that. And it's frustrating, as so many things are, but it can make you feel a little bit less confident in your own body, but you're not losing control. And this is these are why these kind of symptom videos are so important, because I kind of always want to highlight the fact that you're not losing control. This is your brain and body responding to hormonal changes. It's not a you-centric problem, although it genuinely feels like it. I'm very sure of that. So what is happening to you? I need to explain. First of all, if we look at the biology, then the neuroscience behind it, estrogen and nerve signaling. Estrogen supports healthy communication between your brain and your peripheral nerves. As levels fluctuate, the signals between your brain and your muscles become less smooth, and this leads to reduced dexterity. Okay. Cerebellum, which is the area of your brain responsible for balance and coordination, which we discussed in earlier videos, is influenced by hormones. When estrogen drops, coordination tasks, especially those requiring precision, can feel harder. Your body also loses its sense of itself a little bit where it is in space. So hormonal shift, changes in neurotransmitters, lost that word, neurotransmitters like dopamine can reduce reaction speed and fine control. So it sounds odd, but your proprioception, so your body's sense of where it is in space, is slightly the reaction speed just becomes slightly off, slightly reduced. And it's that split second of the reduction that just makes things just slightly off kilter. And so you can imagine if you're doing a fine task like tying a necklace on, I sometimes just genuinely, this is going to sound probably ridiculous, but I sometimes just genuinely cannot be asked to wear a necklace. Because I have to put my glasses on to do anything like that now. And sometimes because I'm just sitting there going tick, 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 trying to do it. And I just, I can't be bothered. A lot of my jewelry now has like big clasps like this because I just find them so much easier. And that is simply because, and you might be like going, oh my God, yeah, shouting at the screen right now, thinking it had just been a you issue. And that's why I'm trying to do this whole series of all of the 100 and whatever symptoms, because it's not a you problem, darling. This is what I'm trying to explain. Okay. Also, there's other contributing factors, of course. So poor sleep. When you haven't slept properly, you know this, like from when you were like, if you've had little kids and you didn't sleep for days on end, or you've been hungover, or you've been up doing, if you've had like big projects in the past where day after day after day, you haven't had a full 8 hours of sleep. Poor sleep, lack of sleep. So if you've been having night sweats, you've been getting up to pee in the middle of the night, whatever it's been, perimenopause is frequently characterized by poor sleep. That could be insomnia. Sometimes, genuinely, for no apparent reason, you could just be up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Just because. Just wired. Okay? There are things that you can do about that, by the way, which I can discussed with you. There's things that you can do, like taking magnesium complex. Magnesium spray is really, really good. My cacao collagen and calm is really, really good for that. Having sleep rituals in general, sleep hygiene rituals, that teach your body, teach your brain to, this is how we go to sleep, all those kind of things, amazing for you. And sometimes still in perimenopause, your brain will just go, nah, just I'm awake. Sometimes it just is what it is. Okay. And one of the things I teach in my Feed Your Fairy program all the time is about pillars. So sleep, hydration, movement, and nutrition. And we talk about them, we teach them, and sometimes your brain will, in perimenopause, will just be that stubborn. So poor sleep, brain fog. So you just sometimes, the best way I can describe brain fog is it's how can I describe it? It's like you're trying to find the words, or you're trying to find something, and it's like you're doing it through a swimming pool or through treacle. Just cannot pull out the word, or you cannot just do that thing. And it's the same thing when you're trying to find skills. Sometimes I play a lot less music, and it's such a shame. I mean, my brain fog is, I do trust me, I do all of the things. Like, we have supplements that I take. Peri Clarity is brilliant, which is based on lion's mane. Omega-3s, we have beautiful quality omega-3. I stay very hydrated. I use one of our Vidrates as well, which really, really helps, by the way. Exercise, which massively helps as well. All of these things. And still sometimes brain fog can just be like, it's getting better. I'll let you know if it gets ultimately better. It's getting a lot better. But all of these things, fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, add to the difficulties, okay, of these fine motor skills. And if your concentration is split, coordination tasks feel even harder. So this whole thing about women can multitask, don't. You may be able to, don't. There's a part of the brain called the corpus callosum, which is it's like a peach stone, and it divides the right and left hemisphere of the brains. And in women, it's biologically bigger than it is in men. Great, amazing. Which means technically, women can multitask better than men. Okay, awesome, still don't. Your brain doesn't enjoy it. You just don't get into a state of flow. It's so unproductive. If we're looking at just productivity in general, it's a very unproductive state of being. Your brain's favorite state is to be allowed to concentrate on one thing. In perimenopause, it's absolutely horrendous. Your brain, it's just kind of like, it's almost like torture for your brain in perimenopause. So the best thing you can do in perimenopause for your brain is to allow it to try and concentrate as best it can. Remove distractions. If you're concentrating on anything in perimenopause, please, I'm ADHD, so I've got a hard enough job concentrating anyway. But just please, when you're doing anything, just make sure your phone is literally face down or in a drawer. If you're concentrating on anything on your screen, close the tabs, close the emails. Don't be letting anything or anyone disturb you. It's a great time to set boundaries, by the way. Tell people, I'm doing this for the next 40 minutes. Please don't disturb me. I'm doing this for the next hour. Please no one come into my office or my room or whatever it is. Boundaries, by the way, are not a bad thing. I'm going off topic completely here, but boundaries are not a bad thing. Boundaries exist. They're not warrior kind of shields that are an aggressive thing. They're actually quite a loving thing, because they allow me and you to exist peacefully. Because everybody, if we have boundaries in place, it means that you and I can still coexist lovingly and peacefully. If boundaries aren't in place, everybody gets frustrated, and you are going to have fallings out, especially in perimenopause when your patience and stuff is that thick. And as I said, if you want the coaching side of what I do, which is literally perimenopause is something that I coach on and I love, because it became such a need in the world. But the coaching, the life coaching side, the psychology side is my background, and Uncomplicate the Code is all about reducing stress, and that's a major contributing factor of brain fog and just difficulties in perimenopause in particular, you must reduce your stress. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, anything that splits your concentration is going to make coordination feel a lot harder. So what can you do? Practical support. And periclarity, as I mentioned, lion's mane. This will help to support nerve health and brain to body communication. Honestly, periclarity is an absolute godsend in perimenopause. It's brilliant. I'll put the links below in the show notes. It's not my podcast. I'll put the details below in the description. And vitamin B complex, again, vital for healthy nerve signaling and energy for fine motor function. Omega-3 or vegan omega helps brain structure and maintain brain structure coordination. Magnesium complex, beautiful. Every woman in perimenopause definitely should be taking magnesium complex. It supports muscle relaxation and steady movement. Lifestyle tips, try exercises that improve hand-eye coordination, even juggling, things like juggling with softballs, playing the piano, or even knitting, anything like that. Crochet, knitting just helps to improve your hand-eye coordination. Incorporate balance focus activities, yoga, love for this, Pilates or Tai Chi. These support both large and fine motor control. And slow down. We're always in a hurry to do things. If you're doing something that's fiddly, okay, and you try and push yourself and speed up, you're going to really get yourself in a stressed and a tiz. And then you know what happens when you do that? Hot flashes. Like if you push yourself, have you ever noticed this, by the way? If you're pushing yourself and you feel really like flustered and you're really like giving yourself a hard time, that's exactly the time you can do things like have a hot flash. So pushing yourself when you're in perimenopause is a cause of anxiety and just general really bad stress, okay? Doesn't help you and you're just going to get flustered. So when you need to, something that's fiddly or takes time, breathe. Make sure you're cool and calm. Literally, I have a Dyson fan on my desk for these like things when I need to do them. Just be calm, all right? And as I said, when you feel like you need help with your confidence and coordination, it's often about more than hormones. So if you want to work on stress reduction, mindset clarity, and rebuilding your trust in your body and brain, this is something that I do inside my coaching program called Uncomplicate the Code. You can check out my upcoming live events or book a discovery call, and I'll put the links below. Seriously, Uncomplicate the Code is the best program I've ever written to do with stress reduction and gaining confidence for women. It's absolutely beautiful. Changes in coordination can feel unnerving, but you are not alone, and I promise you, you are not broken. With the right support, physically, mentally, and emotionally, you can rebuild confidence in your body and feel steady and capable again. I'm sending you love today, and I will see you very soon for symptom number 8. All right, my darlings, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.